My Dysfunctional CIA Family, Part 46. So I've been sitting here trying to think of like things to say, but it's just the one. I'll see what goes. I guess it'll be free flow again. That's probably best anyway. So all that pet stuff. Oh god, the book Pet Cemetery too. There it goes. Yeah. So they had me go volunteer at the Humane Society one time. Maybe when I was 18 or something. Some weird thing all out in that middle of that. I'll get these dates figured out maybe someday. Bits and pieces more. But like I go out there and there's not much to do, and they have me take these dogs for a walk. And then they tell me where to go, and I walk, and it's like, then after a while I figure out I'm walking on like crushed bones and ashes. And there's little ampules where they inject the poison, and they throw that into the furnace with the rest of the pet. So I'm like in a puppy Auschwitz. And it's on purpose too. And that's when all that Holocaust stuff was coming out on PBS. All these same fuckers. I swear to God. It is kind of weird. Yeah, we did go see the cadavers too. At the Carbondale New School. Happens to be that. And that professor guy, he's a German too. It's like fucking, it just doesn't, it's weird, man, how it goes. That was some weird stuff. Carbondale, that was a Cold War university. God, I guess, Mr. Let me see. I mean, just two people's names. But okay, so he was a French professor. I realized those guys are all cool. And daughter, maybe she ended up working for NPR. My brother, someone said he had heard that out in California, but or whatever, who knows? But and the kid was cool. He was like really rowdy and stuff. He was like 3 years younger than me. He's my brother's age. But the dad was a French professor, and he's short, and he's like hairy as an ape, and like a little short guy, and he knew super karate. He was a brown belt, but that's like being black belt super X plus, like in other things. Like it's serious. It's he could just like. He could break all the walls and shit. He would just, so I saw him practice once over at the YMCA. So he's a French professor, and he could just tear through shit. It was crazy. So there's something going on there. And he had a story that he had just gone to France, and some guys tried to mug him, and he had done his karate stuff and stopped him, and they had to run off. Some guys in an alley. And then he probably goes to fucking Cambodia or God knows or what the hell teaches. He teaches the French Foreign Legion or he does something, did some shit. That was a shit, and they'd fuck that family up. They dogged them, I could tell. I think it's one of the targets that the pig CIA would fuck with. Damn, man. And their kids went to our school, the Carbondale New School. That's one of the targeted families. God, thinking back, I can tell. Even though you wouldn't know with him, because the kid was so rambunctious, they let him, that he just got run a certain way. But it could be like there's the whole group, and later he could be bullying or doing something or with it. Because he's just got this. He's very charismatic, rambunctious. When I first met him, he was cussing out old ladies. Like I just, maybe that's even kind of weird that he was even there. But I don't think he was good. He's down on Freeman Street, and we started talking to him. Some old lady came up. Oh my God, that must be a setup though. He wouldn't need to know, no, though. Okay, so that's what it is. Oh my God, he's not in the know. Okay, so it's got to be a setup. Some old lady comes up, some lady, and she says, "Hey, you're so bad. You were the kid weren't you the kid that was out at Walmart teasing crippled kids? It's got a thing like if he sees a crippled kid, he teases them, makes fun of it. That's his like shtick. But they encouraged him into it somehow. You know, and when it comes down to it, like." The other way, the shoes on the other foot or something, like he's one of the nicest guys. Like he has, what I mean is he has real empathy, intuition, that real kindness. The animals recognize it, like our dog loved him and stuff. There's some kind of weird thing. And he had too many spankings and all that, and had rebelled, and God, the whole system probably encourages and breaks the family. So he's the badass. He has a license for this. And the mom was a nurse, worked at the kidney dialysis place. And she was like beaten down by it all. But those are good people. Even though he's but you could miss it though. Yeah, because they'd run him naughty. They encouraged it. They made him into counseling. So the lady comes up and he's somewhere you being crippled because you just heard cussing out. Like this whole thing, fuck you, and all this stuff. They encouraged that. It's some kind of thing that got going. And whoever he had hung out with before. And he goes with it a little bit. He's like can be delinquent. Damn. Yeah, that's what that was. But that's so weird about the dad. And yeah, I know it, man. They had some weird shit going on. I swear she'd say, put down. Got put down, put down. She has enough of that in her conversation. CIA lady. Yeah, they'd be like the tunnel thing. No, like when they have Mr. Simon up behind us, and then, then they're pumping. Like he has a big old mansion, like takes up several like house lots, because the story is like he had the original house there, and big old farm territory. And then they built suburbs up around it. But when it was time to put the sewer pipes in, the story goes that he wouldn't let them go across his land, so they had to divert. And one of those like manholes is in our backyard, like we're at the back edge, in the corner of the property line, pretty much. One of the back corners, and so they're pumping smoke through all the sewers, and they made a big fuss. We're pumping it, and they're acting like there's not a sewer line that's back there because it's different on their diagrams. Because they're like looking at the original diagrams where there wouldn't be a manhole there, and it would go right through Mr. Simon's yard, and they have to scramble around, ask their mom, and get everything going right, and then finally be like, oh yeah, that must have been this. We got the originals. They had to do a revised one that we didn't have. We forgot, and because he wouldn't let them go dig through his things. So it's like the fucking then listen in and see if my mom says anything. And one of the things would be like the SAC, Strategic Air Command, right? Yeah, I know. The tunnel goes through blah, 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 up through thing. This is a big old hill. The tallest hill with a water tower. The original plan. This Simon knows doesn't know if I can, goes up on a hill, something like that. They don't want to go through this tunnel or that tunnel, or they don't even know. Or like they're fucking bugging that. They're fucking doing that shit. There's some kind of shit for my mom to then talk, and maybe even encourage. Maybe my dad's in on it, make her talk, or they're encouraging it. That's funny. Man, I'm not gonna forget. Yeah, so my dad was went with that shortwave radio thing. Part of that thing where they're going like the crystal radio set, right? And I drew the diagram. That could be okay. They also asked me to draw it, or I ended up drawing it when I was out doing the psychology thing. That's before I went to Dr. Plum. Dr. Plum is probably next year, so this is a whole separate thing. Maybe in the summer of '76, before I go into the school, new school, and for the 6th grade in the fall of '76. But I guess it could have been the year before. But like if they're saying, like when they're saying I'm a genius for the radio, that could be, if my dad's building something, that could be an artifact of that. My dad is built something for my uncle, or just have something to have on his own. He's supposed to have it. Because my dad built a shortwave radio, not a transmitter. My dad, that's one of the things you could tell with my dad. It's like he'd never do a transmitter ever, and everything has to be by the book. Wouldn't dare, wouldn't have it around. Doesn't want those guys involved, and they could always triangulate the whole fucking thing. And it's like a big no-no. And he doesn't even seem interested in it. Transmitting. But so he built the shortwave radio, really good when they do all the shit. Lots of stuff went into it from Radio Shack. And so that's another thing. My uncle, even maybe on his end, he does get the kid that thing. Crystal radio set, and he's buying resistors and doodads and capacitors, just from and getting familiar and having stockpiles from Radio Shack. And maybe people just hoarded up, back then. All the stuff. All the doodads. I kind of think because this guy gave me, I don't know. This guy does make me think he gave me a radio, handheld battery radio, over near the Lee County Courthouse a couple weeks ago. It might be on the video too. So my dad built that all. And it was really getting going with me, and did the shortwave radio. We had the wire antenna in the backyard, and the whole thing I could listen to everything, Radio Moscow and the Russian Woodpecker and the whole thing, everything up and down, all kinds of stuff. It's crazy. You could just hunt around on it, and you get more into it with antennas and tuning and everything, and get ideas about stuff. Okay, so but then he was building something else. Okay, so the shortwave, it had when he had soldered it, he just didn't do it all the way, in case he has to pull it apart again, in case something gets wrong. So stuff needed to get resoldered again, so something could always go loose, which it did. So that's what ends up happening with that, because he kind of lost interest after a while. But he solders it all together, and then all the solder places have to get redone. But he does it that way in case he has to take something apart, something's not working. But it's all good and working. And so he's all gung-ho. Then he's building this thing, and I wrote in the comment, okay, so he's building this other device. And he's out in the shed, and I get dreams about that damn shed. Oh my God, that's what it is, man. That metal shed. Get dreams about it. I get dreams, and all my stuff is in there just right, and I can pull the, oh my God, man. That's kind of like my minivan. I was in my minivan zone back up in Boston, going to the beach, and I could just close the metal door on it. And sometimes it'd be raining, and I get all kinds of dreams here. And when that guy walked in after my dad threw the cup, that was kind of in my memory, it's like invading that. So I think it was maybe the time. Maybe it was around the time. Maybe it was earlier. Get a feeling. Like that guy maybe coming for the thing or around. Like that's why he just walks in the back. Because my dad's working on the thing. Like he's supposed to. Just walk around the back. But my dad was working on that device, whatever it was, like Mr. Professor, right? And he was all fucking serious, and it was going on for days, and he's in his serious mode, gets frustrated and plugging away. I think he successfully built it. Okay, so it went on, and then it's like, kinda, then it's not so much. And I just forgot about it. It's down the memory hole, and it's kind of like he never got it going. And he never said what it was, or maybe like I forgot. So something like that, and I'd never seen it. I don't know what the hell, or whatever the hell it was. So he's got the thing, right? So there. And so I did this fucked up thing once. It was plugged in, and I stuck my finger. I said, "What's this?" And I touched something, and it shocked me. And then he bitched. He got all bitchy. But I was pressed to do it. It was the gayest, most fucked up thing I ever did. Like, I know better. I know that, and I just touched it. I was being a douchebag. And I was pressed to do it because it's like, it's this shit. And I guess that made me remember it too. Because it was so fucking weird. Man, he's so into it. And then it just kind of petered out. And he lost interest in all the electronic stuff again. So it's like that. So there's some kind of thing. Yeah, I guess I am going round and round. So, yeah, so, the thing is, okay, so when my uncle said when the lightning was going to strike, he had a cabin, and it knocks out the thing, transformer right outside the cabin. You can hear it bang right there. Or the lightning strike right nearby, and it did it. But okay, so when me and my dad lived out in the woods, out of Macanda, at Midland Hills, we had the transformer right outside our house with a switch. Like that would go out. The lightning would strike there nearby, and it would like go bang and blow it open. And the guys in their truck would have to come out. And it happened a few times. And it's a susceptible place. And it's kind of odd that, both places are like that. Or maybe the thing wasn't. Yeah, because lightning did strike and black out the whole neighborhood at the original. Up in Maine. But okay, so that switch blown open. So I'm thinking, okay, say like you got special places like that where if lightning strikes, when it strikes there, it blows open that switch, and you're at that place where it's susceptible to lightning, and then it's going to go right along those lines and blow it open. And maybe you'd be in a place where it gets high electrical tension. Like sometimes it doesn't do lightning, but it's under real high tension. It's like near to blowing, right? So it's got to be real tense, like a wire pulled tense, right? Between the ground and the clouds. If something gives way, lightning bolt can go down it. And you're right with the wires there. So maybe something with a radio signal, maybe low wave rate. Maybe that could be an antenna with that tension. Maybe it would do something. Maybe it would be able to send a low, like super low wavelengths radio. The one that goes a couple miles wavelength or whatever. That's super low. Something that can get to the submarines. Or it could be a fraction of that. So maybe there's something like that. So at those moments when it's near to where a lightning could strike, maybe that thing can function as an antenna and something going with power lines and stuff. to make that type of super long wavelength signal, so they could go to a submarine. You can give them your basic Morse code signal or something like that. Because, okay, so, there'd just be an interesting thing, or why it would be there or something. And it's part of their shit where they research it and they stockpile the shit. Okay. And this is these are leaps of conjecture. And then I'm doing, I guess it's inductive reason. So I'm taking leaps of conjecture and then see if they tie together as it goes. And also the method, it's also I guess, it's two things. Like, it could be true. People think it could be true. Or like certain people could think it would be true. And you don't know. For certain things. My emotional need. Like, it's not just my emotional need. It has to be, fucking never mind. Okay, so... So it's not far-fetched. They could, it could be done. The predicting where lightning's going to strike or influencing it. It's just that they'd be lying, right? Or altering the weather somewhat, or exactly where tornadoes are going to hit. It'd just be, if you heard it just that's having a certain technology like that, lying about it. But the thing is, I'm just gonna do the reasoning. I would think, why would they even have it? This is a real leap of conjecture. And it's like my uncle with the weather, right? Okay, you look at the motherfucker with ego. My ego juice. Okay, you look up Martin Short on doing Jerry Lewis, right? He does Jerry Lewis, and you get that ego juice, right? Ego juice. That's all you have to give them. Your little Navy fucking intelligence. Okay, let them have some of that for their ego juice, CIA ego juice. And that's all you need to feed these motherfuckers. They'll throw the kids to the walls, the fucking thing. You know what I mean? And you look at these motherfuckers, and I'm thinking back, and that shit would fit, man. And remember my cousin, the girl, she got a Navy security clearance. At least they're saying that to program the missiles to come out of the submarine. And Poseidon, whatever the fuck it was. Open up the doors and launch the shit. They're saying, and it's probably all some fucking whatever, right? That means for reason, but that's what I'm thinking. That's what it would be. With a lightning shit and the other, and they can feed them this shit. And then plus to have the infrastructure for lightning in the communications, if there's anything with the subs or anything like that. You would use the regular infrastructure, maybe when there's lightning storm, and you could communicate to a sub, right? And you have to use power lines and work it a certain way. And you have some of the guys in trucks in on it, and or they just obey. And so there'd be a certain thing like that, and you have certain CIA in on something. And sometimes you actually have to know, oh wait, they're really doing something. And so they would know. And then you can throw them their little bone. Okay, a lightning strike. You can predict lightning. You can be like little God. You can predict a tornado, or even fuck around with it and put it somewhere. Right down the fucking thing like a bowling pin. Like a bowling ball, right? Knock down the pins. And that's all you need to feed these motherfuckers. And like Marion, Illinois, when the tornado hit. So, yeah, because my dad drove me and my brother back to his house. And then right there, the trauma nurse, she's there. She said, man, I was over near Marion, get hit by a tornado. All these people are dead. It's killed 10 people. Wiped everything out. And then I have to get my stuff and go back or something. She's all traumatized. And it's weird for me because she's all nice. She hadn't ever been nice for a long time. It's like we're all shit. But I realize my dad's always shit, and it's mixed. See, the thing that she's with is the stuff. It's like the banana. Like I said, they're all up by. You gotta get them on the hook, and that's just regular. The mafia, the whole police thing, all that, and the CIA will run them. They're like that, and because they fucked up, they gave it away, and they got the shit. Yeah, and they play the different things. Okay, but fuck, and the way my dad was. And the way he was with before with her and stuff. And then it fucking makes sense in the way they do shit to me. But so like of course he would just know that it's like there's the thing happened, and we drive home to rendezvous then. And then it's like they wouldn't have to know beforehand, but if it is, it's like their little ego juice. You know, that's the thing. Right? And then the way he looked at her when we first met, like, hey, here's me and my kids. He's kind of being weird. He's like doing a Harvey Weinstein, but all in his head thing. And I don't think it's just he's creeping. He's got the know or something like that. She lived across from us. He's got the know. They take him to the, and it doesn't. And then they're like dogging me, like all the people. And she hangs out with it. They're with that shit. That runs like my brother's friend and stuff. Like all the way. That direct connection there. Figured that out later. And they don't know. They play around with shit. But see, even my dad just thinking they sort of did that maybe. And then he's got his little ego boost. Like, that's all you fucking need. You just like, and then you can think, how can you just sit there and wait forever? And you got Ruth in the sociology department. Nice secretary. That's all you fucking need. It's like, be sure they knew beforehand it was coming, or they did it. And then you have your ego, right? I'm thinking maybe they did. They actually knew. And they would have set that up. They would have set up like who's around or whatever the fuck. They just fuck with them. And definitely some of that same artifact or the same shit would have sent her home. Maybe even sent her home. They just, no, go honey, go home and get your stuff and come back. Go, you got to. That. You're gonna do this. You gotta get really ready. You can stay, like that. So it can run in. Because she was all innocent, man. We came and she's like, oh, a tornado. She had been awful. I always thought everyone hates me. Everyone's dogging me, running around. And my dad didn't care, though. Now I know. He wasn't just getting punked or anything. Like, everyone's dogging me. All around there. And when my dad's working, he wasn't getting punked by these people. I was trying to figure it out. And he's got his little thing. My God, he just goes in a little corner and he didn't say anything about it. That's what that fucking shit was. I'm pretty sure. They could put those tornadoes right down through there. Shit. Shazam! We universalists can say that. Yeah, and yeah, so that's that shit. Like, probably, right? That's a good one too. That would fucking make sense, and it's like the little thing, because of course they work in the Navy and all this shit, or whatever the fuck. And then, yeah, if you do have to do that thing, if they're like, you could just look up the physics of that shit. If there's anything like that, that would coordinate CIA, and then give them a little thing, give them a little piece, and then give them, and the CIA goes dirty with some of it. Oh, I didn't mean to. Oops, with the agriculture department. Ooh, dropping, I don't know, this pollution or that goes a certain way, and had to fly this airplane with this bad exhaust right through here at this certain time. Maybe aiming it. Yeah. Maybe. Now what's the other thing? Like, yeah, because I got them going with, this stuff in town. And I got them connected to the, old German who did the shotgun thing on his head. If I was that. See. I mean, they got that thing. They don't have anything though. Shit, man, they're just getting watched. Yeah, it'd be so much shit. God, maybe the weather could get so well predicted too. Maybe it would, and they're just like, okay, so who's in town? And they know it's coming in Marion. That's over in Williamson County. Fuck. Yeah, that is the shit, man. Over at the fucking parish school, past the YMCA, and then you got the Unitarian Church there now. I do that one where yeah. Damn, what else did I put? I put some comment and written something that I remembered. Something. Yeah, so when my dad, yeah, the dog, that would have been the people down the street. Also the street. I know who that would have been. Just working with it. Damn, that's why these people are like that. It's some weird shit. That's why my dad's like that. We're out in Macanda in his little shack, and he has to get away nicely from some people, and they're all like, we're up in a glass fishbowl. Up there, such a weird house. Oh, the hell, that was always the CIA house. You've always been the caretaker. Man, actually, it was a caretaker that used to bug me, too. Some fake shit. But, I'm in the hills. Yeah, it's a house, before it belonged to, they said it was a drug dealer. But that's gotta be some CIA shit, right? And even fake out, yeah. Yeah, he's up there and he had, oh my God. So we're in that shack. Like he had it built or something. Like he had it built like that. Where it's like it's built by the, God, the shack that I lived in, it was built by the CIA fucking drug dealer fake out. He ran dogs and stuff. Oh shit. Oh, I didn't know that. Oh, I forgot that. That's it. So there you go. See, I'm almost saying dogs. He ran dogs. He did dogs. Dogs is his thing. Dogs and dogs kennels. Attack dogs. He's the Mr. Super Attack Dog guy. I just heard about him. Damn. Yeah, with his like fucking Doberman Pinschers or German Shepherds, whatever the fuck it was. Oh shit, that's what it was. He had some big old dog kennels with dogs. He was a CIA dog guy. Man, he had a safe, like in the kitchen. It was safe, like an underground safe, whatever the fuck. All that shit. Oh my fucking god. So that's that. And you have horrible dogs and stuff, and ran dogs like they had. Oh, and they're wondering, does he like bring, smuggle drugs inside the dogs? Like that's just some rumor that got repeated, right? Are they sewed up in there? And when we moved in, Jeb, was it Jeb or Zeb? Zebediah or Jebediah? Man, that guy was like fucking dogging me, man. But now I know he's with that shit. And they're all like fucking, they get run, but they're like, getting, God, they think they got something. He said he used to take that guy's license plates of everything that ever came by there, but they don't know. They were getting oppressed by it, though. That's some shit, and it would oppress them. And then my dad moves in and drags me out there. Yeah, some guy, at the airport, there's something with dogs. Like, this is just in my mind, a memory about that Southern Illinois airport. Maybe the dogs would fly in. I'm not sure if I got that right. I might be coming up with that. Fly into there, right? Or something. I wonder if he had, drugs sewed up in the dogs or whatever. It's all, fake out. Man, so that's where I fucking lived. Damn. So that's like a CIA house. Fucking already. That is so funny. That's where my dad is, he doesn't care. He's gotta get away from it all. But then he doesn't care. They get their revenge, or they get their weird little thing. Go there. Shit. God, man. Yeah. And what was the other thing? There's something else. I'm actually going to put this on pause so I can think and go try to see if I can find something. Like I had written something on a comment. I might remember it then. I'll be back. All right. When I was 15 or something, 15, I was going to turn 16 or something. I had to go to school. I had to go to the doctor for a physical to go to school. My dad took me there. The only time he ever fucking took me there to one. I had never gone to that doctor with him. And that was all, now I know it's a setup. That was my dad's in on it. And then the doctor had fucking started fucking with my dick in front of me. I had to pull my dick out and started showing my dick to my dad and describing it. Like my bare dick. Like this sick shit. And fucked me up for life. And I was 3 years behind sexually maturing. So everything's exactly 3 years. Because I had it timed. 3 years. So I was all fucked up. I was permanently fucked up. I wonder if they could have done something back then. Because now it's a level where they would. My brother was the same way. Didn't where they run it a different way, he has a different ego or something. I guess I can run this shit. But I don't remember. My mom was never giving us vitamins. We never got injections. We weren't one of those families where, oh, here's your vitamins. And, oh man. I don't know how it'd have to be. Because my mom did make meals and shit. I'm not sure if you have to get it every day or whatever. Like an oral puberty blockers if they had them back then or anything like that. But that's something to look into. And be me for me and my brother, but so maybe it's not. But it's something to research now or to think about, because it's like level of crazy. It's kind of weird, and they do it. Fuck, man. God, man, if they weren't fucking torturing me too, like that would be a thing. Like it would come out better. You could just delay shit. Be like smarter if you're not being tortured. You either gotta be on the fucking reject train and all this shit, inferior, or you have to be like on the perv, and like whatever ego thing, or like I'd be like, fuck. Yeah, my dad, he did that on purpose. So I was like my brother going to the fucking catching the trout or whatever. They had to, so you have to run the rape shit on me. They have to just fucking do it like that to fucking work it. So I don't go on this thing. So they had to suppress me like that, or they did. But man, now it's like I know it's on purpose. And so the whole thing, how it would work. I'm supposed to be on the gay train, all kinds of shit. Then they would have put me on the weenie train. Be like that. Get me all. That is weird. So, because that's rare. To be 3 years behind. My brother too. The only ones in the car. That's Dr. Smith. Like he came in probably that same year. I think he was brand new. And so we moved to Carbondale. Move in and as I'm gonna turn 6. So we were moving in the spring of 1970 to Carbondale. And that first time, like Dr. Smith came to our like home warming party. My parents had a party and they had hot beer drink that's on the thing. And I drank a little bit of it, just a little sip of it. Or was it then? Maybe that wasn't then though. It reminds me of that. And Dr. Smith was there, and I thought he's cool because he's like a doctor and he's like kind of a scientist thing. And I thought he's cool because he's sitting by himself. He's all isolated and weird. Damn. So I was talking to him a little bit, and he'd like sit alone at the party. Maybe they wouldn't let him go to parties again after that. He had issues, and now his perv thing, and like he has this aggressive thing, and if you want to know what it would fit, you always think, oh my, how does that young man live his sexual life, as Josephine Hart said, or like it's their own motivations. But okay, and then it's kind of weird in how he is, and how it freaks me out because he's not all nice or anything. It's this aggressive, weird fucking thing, and a destructive thing. He's out to fucking wreck me and the shit he says and do this fucked up shit. Even smelling like shit mixed with soap a little bit. That's like on purpose. Damn, man. The motherfucker, that was like a fucking thing. He's like, it's his job. He did that. That's why he's like that. And he's like, he presses it. And he's like, geez, like your wiener, let's look in your butt crack, like all through every visit, like a motherfucker, and like all their perverted shit. And like, damn, man. But it was, he had to, that was his job. He's pressed to do that. And he's got his other whatever somewhere else, but he's not doing his perv then. He's doing his like job of like, go at people and shit, go at kids, or go at me. God, it might be just something totally different with someone else. Man, and the kid kicked me in the nuts once. So that was on purpose. That was a hit. Kicked me in my left nut, fucked me up. Like this kid is trained to do that on the 3rd grade playground. Like boom, like all of a sudden he's like I saw him go after another kid one time too. And he fucked up going after me once too. So like once he got me, like, the first time ever, it's like bam, there's some black kid they get to do that, and he's hired. He's like the thing, and it fucked me up. I go behind a bush, and it was like all fucked up. Damn, man, kind of fucked me up a little bit, and the chords would get a little messed up later, and then it went away. Like it kept going on through my adulthood, but then sometimes and then it'd be better, and then it's good. Like and it stopped. And so the doctor talked about it, and he told my brother about it. Like he was talking my mom to my brother, so my brother could spread the rumor around town, all over the place. That's how it works. So my brother's friend gets it, talks to him because he's got this shit. That's how it even works. Like, hey, what's that? What? Oh, that thing. And then like they got that angle, and that's how it gets in, boom, and up and going, right? Like it doesn't naturally. Brush fire doesn't catch naturally, right? You gotta have my brother's friend, the fucking, yeah, the douche, the fucking ass, fucking. Oh man, that guy was like, man, they're all like on the. He's confessing. I bet you anything. It's like maybe secret Catholic, right? That would do it too. The whole religion thing, father confessor. Secret, that would work too. I bet you the fuck they did with all the banana shit or whatever the fuck they did. Well, I call that one girl Bonano. It's a whole different thing. That's because it's like, you know, down here it's like they stole it. They stole their shit. There's a certain kind of thing you can see it. There's a justice to it, social justice, or how people. Like, that's how we beat the Romans. That might not be real blonde hair, but maybe not. I don't know. They had like orange hair motherfuckers in the beginning. And at the end, it's the fucking blonde vandals are coming. And all this stuff. And they taught them everything. That was their former guys. That's all their border guards and all their shit. That was like actually Rome itself turning on itself in a way, you'd say, right? But, damn, man. Yeah, that's what they did. Dr. Smith. Damn. God. Yeah, so he came in. Yeah, so my dad was in on everything. And it's not like just he's humiliated, getting punked. He's like fucking knuckling it up. Like he must be, there's this whole fucking thing. So it's like that, not the ego you think. You get your father and your father confessor, right? Your faggot confessor kind of thing. And you get punked. It's not like, oh my God, I grew up. And it's like, hey, your dad, you're getting punked or something. Yeah, you can't do anything. And you know what that would be? That would be like, my dad's dad is a Unitarian minister. I'm named after him, but he was born in 1913. So in 1923, when he's 10, his dad got killed. And his dad was a streetcar motorman, as Nixon says. But, you know, he was working in the yard. He was working his stuff, working the trolleys. And the two trolleys crushed him. So they probably fucking murdered him. It was a hit. And, That was a hit. And he's having his working class thing. It's kind of like that. There's ups and downs, or maybe people have a lot of kids, or however the fuck it works. And then, but my grandfather ends up making all the money doing all the fucking. He's doing the bootlegging stuff. It's got to be. He's all up and down. And he's with all the stuff and with all the Kennedy things and stuff. Like, it's got to be going up and down in Massachusetts. So he's part of that. Like, how they get him into that. He gets kind of adopted by the working class and, and does his thing. And, like, whatever's there of the Mayflower fucking, the fucking originals. Like, they pay attention to him. It wouldn't be enough, and that thing can work it. They know how to work it, and it's really just British intelligence. That's flat out MI6, British, doing that shit. And creating him with the whole fucking bootlegging and Kennedy thing, like that. They created him, and that's why he goes, working class dad. However the fuck it works. Or it's like dads like that having to work. Maybe it's just when they're young too. All the way up to God. Fucking, they said he'd go around with $1,200 in his pocket. And that's back until the Depression hit. So maybe that's as a kid too, because he's 10 in 1930 and 23. So all he becomes a minister. So, and he's always like pro-Irish and all that stuff. The Klan came up there. He was doing stuff. Or the Klan up in the north is all Republican. So it's all that shit. And so that's how he gets into that thing, like the Catholic, like, I don't know, the fucking father confessor, fucking whatever the fucking shit, molester thing, but that's all British. I always said that was all that Catholic Church shit you're seeing. All that thing that's all British, it's all shit. Now like, well, look at the fucking Unitarians. And they're just watching. Look how, like, all through, since I was a kid, they bring everyone in. Everyone can come in from the Catholic Church and have their complaint. They could have their thing right into it, And it won't even be suspicious. And they fucking work it, man. They have those people under control. And so my dad must be some shit, right? However they fucking work it. And it could even be some rowdy Rodney Piper, right? More innocent like that. Because I'm like all uptight, because it's like capitalism or something. You have any motherfuckers, everyone's like, get the fuck out of my house or whatever. It's like, everyone's like, if any guy fucks your girlfriend, it's kind of like the end. Back then, it'd be like they have the best men at a wedding, right? Like, that's from the old thing when they used to go kidnap them, because people live in a matriarchal society. So the girl will be at their tribe, and you have to take her out. The matriarchal tribe, she comes to your tribe. Do you bring her to where your mother is? And all that stuff. Try to bring her in there. It'd be like that. And you marry. Like that. And then they settle in. So the girls go through this thing like that. Either you're going to stay at home and something, or they go to move to another tribe. That's how it worked. The guys would always be loyal to their mother and the mother's tribe, even if they travel around. Like, it's ultimately like that. Man. We want the non-gay explanation. I'm the only fucking one. In The Simpsons, like, he comes in on Bart. What's that, Bart? What are you doing? And I want the non-gay explanation. And I lived that pretty much. Because I just hate these motherfuckers. Because it's fucking stupid too, man. Oh, what they do? Oh, they did that. Oh, they got gay shit. Oh, but like if they got jealous and they did something, that's all against the law. Like, right? Oh, they did that, man. You can't stand these guys. Oh, yeah, happened to them. Oh my God, you're be in trouble for that, right? Really, you don't need to. You just like gotta get money, get away from it, get your little place. I just fucking hide out. You see, I am. I'm just back out on the street, and I fucking go up to people or like for filming or look around or talk. Don't have any friends. No nothing. No guy thing. Used to go to the beach. See my guys on the beach, but that's even people have their space and. God. So that was working. They were working that shit. And I'm like, they're watching every little thing. Wait, where's your fucking thing? Where's your fucking sickness, man? And like, I'm thinking, damn, man. Because they fucking chase me away from all the... I can't... There's no girls, no nothing. Like, I used to do this stuff when I was younger. And now I have guy friends. And then later, then I'm broken. Put me in the fucking 8th grade with all the fucking nudity. Like shock trauma. That was on purpose too. They had that shit all worked out. Then I go to Minneapolis. Okay, that's it. Minneapolis, it would have been good. And they're working it, so I'd go there. And I was in Minneapolis. I went up there for the 8th grade, December of the 8th grade. So December of 78. And stayed through the rest of that school year. And they wanted me to stay up there. They put my dad with a girlfriend. Like full-on girlfriend. Like really good looking. Plenty fucking younger. What was she? Like fucking 20 years younger, 15 years younger, 20 years younger. Whatever. She probably wanted to bear kids or something. She took off all her clothes once. She'd like be up to the thing, man. And I was supposed to be there. She was on her good behavior. And my dad, see, that's how I can tell too. My dad, what is he? God, does he have some secret perv? They do this, that. And it's probably like, he's got his issues, but it's like he needs his chick and stuff. He put her with it. But then, like, she lives that with us. And it gets boring after a while, and he's like, gonna be, maybe he's got issues, like, keeping his mojo going, and he's got his fucking weird, and, he needs to be with the fucking tribal society people clapping hands and stuff with it or something. They're not providing that. Whatever the fuck they do. Because there's probably shit like that. You get your little thing and you go around hither and thither. So there's probably some hang-ups like that, some issues. Because like me, I know I fight it out. Like I'm with a fucking girl and I'm like fucking, yeah, like me and my wife like locked up in a studio apartment together, like, or a little basement. Bed takes up half the thing almost, it seems like it, but I'm like, well, I was like, I'm into it, I know I gotta do that. That's the thing. Actually, I'm not even just trying, it was like normal. Then I think, later, that is the thing. You just gotta like, actually, yeah. Yeah. Okay, so, yeah, so up in Minneapolis, the thing is okay, I called my dad on the phone, like, from Carbondale, and told him I gotta, like, they were trying to make me go to school, keep going, they're just fucking with me. They wanted me out, though. And he had, so he said I could go live up there. And then they had arranged up that in, because he's got his, like, lease and everything, okay? So the people he's lived with are with the shit, okay? They're with the CIA, the thing. But they're not garbage and abusive, or they don't know that it'd go like that. Like, that's what it is up there. Because the one guy he lived with, the guy who owned the place, he owned the big old fucking house. And my dad had his truck stolen too. He had an old truck and it got taken away and used for haul like trash or something. Maybe they put bugs in it or did they do something, or maybe that's even him using on it. But it did get taken away and then returned. I found it. For God knows what. They just so you know. But so the guy that lives there, he owns it. He's like an inventor, and he invented this pee alarm thing or something or so. You know, like if you peed or you're gonna pee for a medical thing, and he has a patent on it, and that's one of his sources of money. They say so. That's probably all this weird shit, and they do something. So they'll just do weird shit. It's like probably a payout of like, how hard is it to do this and get approval and something, and it's like they make here's some hurdles and here's some getting around the hurdles so they can pay this guy. So it probably ends up being that. And so he's like, really, God knows what, right? And you make it kind of funny. And he was cool. So like he had the big old house, giant old wooden house, giant house. And then the other lady that lived there, she was really cool and really nice and kind of depressive and a little bit not good looking. But I don't like to say it, but I think that's even on purpose. And she had like certain thing, but she knew all the. God, she reminds me of my mom's sister, my aunt, her adopted sister, her sister. She'd go all around. She wouldn't be judgmental like that though. And she took me all around the bus in Minnesota and Minneapolis, and said like all the buses go everywhere and all this stuff. And she knew every store. God, there's like all kinds of odd stores and surplus stores and everything. And she was with the shit too. I know now. And so they were even set up there. That's part of the thing, get me up there. So I go up there, I live up there, and my dad, then he's looking around for a place. We get a place, end up moving someplace near the railroad tracks. Damn, I used to be able to go to the tracks too. They sealed it up. I mean, like you couldn't live there and do that now. They got the thing sealing it up. Railroad tracks right behind the house. It was so fucking cool. And because I looked on Google Maps. So, but yeah, they let him, break his lease. They're all cool with it because they're part of the shit. Like I'm supposed to go up there. And my dad was looking around at schools for me. He took me to a couple, and it's got to be I'm supposed to wind up at the one. And like all like looking around, and we finally found a place, and they were just gonna put me there, the Southeast Free School. I think it's Southeast, not Southwest Free School, on the Motley building. And if that's still on the internet, and I got some things with a diagram of it. I gotta put some time. It's on somewhere. And they tore the building down. It's not there now. It's that new bridge got put in, but it's not right on the path. It's a little off to the side, but still they tore it down. So that big old bridge wasn't there. I used to play on the Mississippi. So I was supposed to stay up there. Some kids were like fucking with me there at the school. I ended up telling them I'm not going to be going there the next year. And so I didn't. And then my dad got an offer. Because he had a 6-month sabbatical or whatever, year sabbatical. Maybe a year. Yeah. To be away up in Minneapolis and being a professor up there. Then they offered him a full professorship, whatever the fuck. And he later, when I said I didn't want to stay there, I wanted him to just fucking stay there. And then later he'd say that I should have stayed there. And I said, well, he should have stayed there. Like there's something where they wouldn't let him if I didn't stay. He never fucking said it. And so there's some weird thing where he didn't have the mojo, didn't have the wherewithal really to argue against me or whatever the fuck. But they wouldn't. And they weren't getting their shit. But there was something where I was supposed to stay up there in Minneapolis just doing that. But they couldn't do it too hard or something like that. Or figure it out. Because they were like trying to make me stay up there. But there's some kids that were fucking with me. A horrible as shit white kid in this little crew. And they're just in that school just to kind of fuck it up. Because they're bored with it. You can see when they're at these good schools, like a free school like that. Because they can go into the public school and just walk and no one will beat them up. Because it's all fake out thing. Fake shit. But they're in, so when they're in the good school, like private school, like a professor kid school, they're bored by it. And so he was like that. He's like one of those things, those plant. But I had said we're not going to be there. They took us on a field trip down to Jamaica. We went there for like 10 days. Kingston, Jamaica. Yeah, that was really cool. Damn, man. I didn't want to be up there too with my dad because like didn't want to be a heroin addict. And then I was right because the 80s hit. It was like the crazy shit. It would have been like that, like Kurt Cobain. They wanted me up there though. Maybe they were going to do that shit to me. Damn. And on the way up, we had to, God, at one point, how did it work? I guess when my dad was going to move up there, before I went up there, he took me up there. He drove his car up there with me to Minneapolis. That's before I moved up. We went up to Mississippi and stopping at all the locks and dams and all the different places. Maybe it's a little suspicious too, right? Or it looks like something. See, my dad all those years, he's running cover. Like maybe doing shit too, but like just that is valuable. He's a professor and God knows what, whatever the fuck. God, maybe that radio thing, that'd be funny, wouldn't it? But, nah. Nah, their shit's so tight though. But all in Missouri and all this stuff, and why he does fly fishing and can stand around, and it's because he's like, he does a certain thing. He's like there in place, maybe doing something, maybe not. And they can feed his ego like once every few years or whatever. With a tornado thing, if that's what that is or anything, probably would be. It'd probably be one of those pieces that, yeah, that'll do it, right? And once you know after the fact, like, see, you can tell someone's just as long as they don't fuck it up before the fact. Like, even say, hey, tornado's coming there, and it happens. It's just that person remembering that, like, as long as you don't write it down, I guess, all the way or something. But then, like, what if they did? They'd be saying you're crazy or anything. But, like, once it's after the fact, and you knew before the fact, you just, like, bite your tongue before, then it's kind of more, it's not as risky or whatever. Like what saying like I knew before it or something. There's not as much, and no one's gonna believe you or whatever the fuck. Or it doesn't. It's not much as you're not gonna slip up and be like, how I wouldn't drive through there when you don't go through there anyway. It's way the fuck out. God. And yeah, that'd be funny. Or even if it wasn't, even if it's like you could reasonably think that it could be planned, and then that, it'd boost your ego. For him. Yeah, because they run their shit. They have everyone doing this gay, that gay. And I was thinking of the kid, I don't know. So on that train, from the parallax view, he reminds me of this kid. Hold on. I might as well, right? I should. Another thing. Well, he had the way of saying, because I was thinking how cool he was back then. Or hoping they have something. No. No, there's sides. Damn, no, I'm gonna. Right? Damn, man. He's like that. Shit. Usually it's funny because it's like he wants someone to be good or something. Then I'm thinking about, oh, should I, really talk about it? Because it just gives, like you get a view of shit, and I wouldn't give you a view of the fucking inside of, like, all this stuff. All the FBI roadway executive has nothing to do with him, but it's like, he was, damn, man. It is, they want to chew their arm off and get away from it. And they would too, it's driven them. Shit. And the things when people, they struggle, man. They must have been fighting the motherfucking fight in Texas. Good and evil. And the battle that was once fought in heaven is fought again upon the earth. That's Frederick Douglass.